resume. And it should be recording now. It is. So once again, what we're working on is it's a basic, real basic stance. It's just kind of like when you're, it's like if you're doing a Nordic track, so you're just pushing and pulling with the feet. All right, pushing and pulling the feet, and we'll start with 3 minutes. And the whole idea.
I'm walking or I'm doing it stationary.
Oh, just here, stationary.
Okay, cool.
That so feet are just here, but the work is all done in the feet, and you don't really let the legs go. Go ahead and keep going. But, let me see. You still can't see my legs, but yeah, you don't want to. Sorry. Let's see if that works. Yeah. So you're not necessarily going like way over, right? Not that you're doing that, but you just want to right here. Right. So this was really pulling. You can feel it engages the whole leg here. Pulling, while this one pushes. Of course, by the time their hands swing, the leg's already going the other way, just like if you're walking, right? They're kind of swinging after the fact. But what you want to kind of feel is you're pulling with your leg ends up pulling one hip and then pushing the other hip. So your hips are doing like kind of the motion that your arms are doing, but they do it first, right? Then it's your legs that push and pull. Yeah, it's all just about having that engaged. Here. So that's a little over halfway through. Just push and pull. It's all just the leg. I mean, you can do it without the arms. You can just go like this. But it's just a matter of really, and just take your time, just really push and pull. And Tai Chi, they do exercise this way, where you put your hand on a table, or you're imagining that you have a table, so you're going this way. Right? But yeah, you can just, it's easier. I think the easiest way is just to do this. You feel that in your legs, though?
Yep.
Feel and engage. And it doesn't mess with your knee at all this way, right?
Nope.
All right, good. Because I was thinking about that with the angles, and you're right, especially on my uncomfortable side or on my weak side. If I go southpaw, when I start trying to do angles with the push and pull, it can be kind of tricky with the legs, but with the knee and everything. But if we do this exercise we're about to do, well, this one and then some others, where you're basically doing this, but mostly with just one leg. In 9 seconds. Push, pull. Make sure you're engaging the whole leg, forward, the back and the front of the leg. And kind of sit down here too. This thing does not ring for some reason. Because that should be timed right there. It is. Okay. Oh, I know. I gotta turn this on. Okay. So now that's a funny looking exercise, but so this one, we're just gonna go with the angle we've been working with, but the focus is gonna be what we're just doing. So here, actually, show my feet again. It'll be easier to do that. I still can't see my feet that way. Yeah, close enough, I guess. So this one is just doing the same thing. It's just doing push pull with the leg. But by doing that, it sends this foot either here or here. Like this foot's this way. Does that make sense? And what you really want to do in this is really take your time. Sorry. Need a bigger room and be easier to do all this. Actually, you know, maybe if I put it. Nah, I don't want to drop that thing. So anyway, so it's gonna be on just this foot, pushing and pulling, right? So just this foot here, pushing and pulling. And it kind of sends, you don't have to put the step there, just that pulling this way makes this step go here. And then pushing into it that way pulls the step back, right? And you just need a little step. That make sense?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, and time. So weird alarm, instead of ringing and the phone turns off. So yeah, just pull that stuff. Of course, like you're hanging from a string, turn from here. So and then it's like there's that little step, but see my center is here still, right? I'm not really. All right. Here. Maybe if I did this. Nah, that doesn't work. Go in the back way?
Yeah.
Cool. And don't worry about having a big range of motion here, because that can mess with the knee. Just keep your knee where it's comfortable and push and pull there, even if it's just a little step. It's still enough to turn. Make sure to do the push or pull first. Don't try to do it at the same time. Like pull, that pull, push the foot. It works more, but it's slower. It takes time. So you're keeping your center here. Step out long, just short steps. For now, just do short steps. So just once this is turning, you do whatever you want. You really don't really have to try to do anything. If it's in position, it'll go by itself, right? Once you've turned everything and gotten out, you're basically making it where by working here, you're getting your center out of your way, right? So like when punches come in, you're getting out of the way. And then that gets your body up so this will catch up. Same way this way. So in other words, you focus on the side that's coming back. On this side. This gets up. On this side. This gets up. Time. It's still not ringing. I have it on. Well, at least I can see it. Just can't hear it. All right, that should work. Okay, let's work the other side. The other side, other leg, exact same move. So push, pull. Remember, it's just I'm pushing and pulling with this leg. So pull here, it's all this way, and that pushes the foot here. Or if I push this way, it kind of pulls it back. It's just to get the turn here, but it's all this way work. And you're just keeping your weight back here. But remember, your focus isn't so much this thing now. Your focus is to push and pull here, which causes this to move just a little bit less, smaller move. All right, let's see here. Moving from here. I'm just trying to keep the triangle right outside of the opponent's triangle. All right, the opponent wants to hit you here. You want to be just outside the triangle. Or this way. It's easier this way. Probably across. Remember, all the weights here, all the work is done here. Because by the leg pushing or pulling, it causes like either this to happen, or this. And then we're going to work into it a bit. There's more. You can use this on the changing southpaw to right hand. But first of all, first is this. Using hands on the back. You don't feel that in the knee, right?
Not too much.
Cool, because yeah, instead of the pressure being in the knee, you want it all like here. Yeah. But the knee stays, the knee doesn't change, the knee doesn't turn at all. It's just above the toes where it's comfortable. Just bend here. Or on this side, of course, crew on here. But a little bit less than a minute. So you're turning the ball here, and then just you can let your punches roll off if you want. Uh, 15 seconds. You can do a lot just with that little turn right there. All right, time. Now, I think it's a little bit easier in this way, doing it as a front angle. So I wanted to do that first before we start switching from southpaw, right? So in this case, the same idea, but it's a little bit easier on this doing this way. Whereas we're working instead of this one off the back leg, now we're doing the front leg one, right? And here, I think, like I said, I think it makes more sense. So you're just going to be pushing and pulling with the front leg. So you pull, takes you over here, over here. So once again, this foot's kind of pigeon toed in case you have to go this way, right? And put your weights up here. So you have your weight where, like if kind of the opposite of this, right? You have your weights when someone, there's somewhere to come at you, you kick away. Your legs already wound up to jump back. So anyways, so you're here, and you're just gonna push or pull with the front leg. So it's either gonna pull this leg this way, or if you kind of pivot and push it, it pulls you this way. Here, 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 here. But you're done with the hips and foot. Right? Foot pulls this way. push back. That makes sense?
Yep.
So, and remember, don't worry so much about the turn. Don't do that first. It's all just the push and pull part. And then the turn is just like after the fact. You can do a smaller turn and get more out of it. And time. So you can get a lot just out of, even before you pivot, just going push, pull, like that. Even though you're on one leg, right? You're not shifting. It's on one leg, push or pull, but you can go here. Make sure it's pigeon toed. Or when you go this way, it's going to be uncomfortable. You can always turn it first if you have to. It's pigeon toed, but you still turn it a little bit. Or you can do it at the same time. Either way. Just don't do it late when you turn, then turn the foot. It's either early or at the same time. And so push, pull, and you're kind of bent here, right? And this here. So you're pushing with this with the left side. And the right side either gets pulled this way or this way. All right, so if it goes here, come back. If it goes here, come back. See, it's kind of a different way of doing it, right? When you really use it. Which can be kind of awkward at first, trying to. Oh yeah, I got a little over a minute. So you see there's a lot of movement just in this, see? Just in before you really move the back foot. Of course, it's real easy to do the inside one because you don't have to worry about that foot thing. So it's real easy to, right? Push into the heel. Funny thing is, you can be taking the punch, like they're punching through here, taking the punch, but you're pushing into the toes, into the heel, right? You're pulling this side, and then this side just closes behind. And finally, first time it rang. Okay, oops, pause. All right, same thing, but this way. You feel you. No, it won't stop ringing, right? Oh, there it goes. Did you feel that in the leg a lot more here?
I did. It still hurts my knee.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. Basically, if I don't pivot my foot much, then it hurts my knee. And I think it's just my knee position. So I was just trying to think about that.
You said if you don't pivot your foot?
Yeah, like usually the pivoting off the front foot, it doesn't hurt my knee because I usually would pivot like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was
But
pivoting.
do it a little bit slower?
That's how I would normally do it. Here, down.
Here, right. Oh, step pivot?
Yeah, so doing it without the step and just kind of, I had to really work on pushing that out. So that's all I was thinking about. But that's a problem I have, I know, is my knee tends to, do that. So I was just trying to.
Right.
But it was better as long as I was careful.
Once we're doing the, that's what I was saying, don't do too much of the angle.
Yeah.
Kind of, let me see if I can direct the camera right. Yeah, this isn't a false. Here. What if I did this? Still doesn't work. Okay. There. So, let me explain it. So, like, you wanna, so you have your foot about there, comfortable, but you're actually pushing, in a straight line this way,
Mhm.
front and back with the foot, right?
Yeah.
You're just going. You're either pulling this one back, which pulls this forward, or you same thing as the here, let me do it this way. So if I'm even though I'm standing this way, my feet are here this way, right? More or less here. So it's push and pull. Only instead of doing it this way, it's just a one leg, so it's all in this. And the angle is real small though. You don't have to do a lot of.
Oh, okay.
It's more. Wait, the leg is really. This leg doesn't move. Doesn't have to do an angle so much.
So you are kind of switching your stance when you do that.
Oh, there I am. Yeah, I'm exaggerating. So it's gonna be more. There, I'm not switching it here, right? So
Okay.
this is still in back.
Yeah.
This toe is about where this heel is. And then here. So yeah, work more of this. I should have said that actually. I should have done that. It's just work this and don't work this part. Don't do the extra. Just do. But this doesn't move. This all stays in one place. You're pulling, which pulls the hip. You're pushing, which kind of pulls this hip. That makes sense?
Yeah, it's really hard for me to turn my hips without turning my knee.
So you don't need to turn that much.
Yeah.
It's just it's a subtle move, but it should really the pressure should all be in the like here.
Yeah. I can.
Legs and then calves and bottom of the feet eventually maybe drop a little bit in the waist.
Yeah, okay.
Turning, but or core in general. I mean, but I guess everything's a core, right? All right. So, anyways, let's continue on that side. Shit, actually, I feel like I just worked that side more than the other one. Doing that example made me do it better, actually.
So do it on the second side?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, you don't have to do this front foot doesn't have to move. And neither does the knee. You're just going like on the ground with this foot. Don't even worry about the back foot. Just barely moves. It's just a little bit. Pulls the hip. But stay on the same thing with the knee, straight. Right, it doesn't go different. And see, you use it the same way as you use your angles though, this way, but you don't, I mean, strategically, but you're doing it with just a leg. You're still getting out of your way, but you're just on your front leg while you do it. Just like when you're back here, you do it, but you're still on your back leg. Here, you're doing the same thing. These are a little lean too. So kind of bent here. That feel better on the knee?
Yeah.
The stretch should be all here. You feel more in the leg?
Yeah.
Good. And then gradually, don't do it don't push it, but gradually, as time goes, you sit down into it a little bit more. But you don't push that. You just sit down naturally, and the more you relax, the more comfortable you get there, the more the leg kind of gets wound up. Because there's like a world of difference between say here and here and here, just in the way you sit down. Still recording, right? Yeah.
I paused it for a
yeah.
second.
Cool. So yeah, actually we were. Oh man, sorry. The glasses a little sweaty. We were pretty much done with that round. It ran right after. So here, this one should be a little bit easier, and yet really work the leg, and yet it really gives you especially you just do this real slow at first, and then you can work into it. And it really shouldn't mess with the knee as much because it's just going to be the same angle with here, but you're just going here, let's see. Just going straight this way. Just so here you are actually just kind of on the straight in there. A little circle, but not much. It's more of a. It's really just this leg is straight. Just pushing and pulling, and this foot will move. But, yeah. It's all going to be the pressure's all in this leg.
In the lead leg or the rear leg?
It's all in. Well, that's the thing. It's going to be switching.
Okay, so you're going to be switching. Okay, so you're going to be switching.
Yeah.
So the
You know,
pressure's
actually,
on the leg and you're switching. Got it.
I should put it on the feet. Actually, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I think I got it.
I'm doing this. Actually, let me do it this way. Got cramp in the side. I was hiking to. Right. So just pushing and pulling. But it doesn't like come out of its
Okay.
out of its zone or anything, right? It doesn't do any of this. It's just
Day.
or it's just here.
Yeah.
There's all the pressures here. It's a funny looking move, but when it comes to like switching stances, and that should help you too, since you can fight with both stances, you know. Because I've been working on the other stance a lot, but it's like a lot of doing that is doing stuff into transition
Right.
to make it work if you're trying to do that. I feel like, and that's also where your people's weaknesses are, is when they try to switch sides, is in their transition somehow. So you can catch people doing that. So I feel like transitions are important for both, for attack and defense and out. Anyways, so and this should, when it's a little more comfortable with the feet. Okay, time.
Mhm.
When it gets a little bit more comfortable with the foot, well, first just here, land.
So are you shifting? You are shifting the weight. Oh yeah, you're shifting the weight with the front. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
It's all on this leg that I'm going. Right. So you can,
The push and pull. Yeah.
there's a little circle too. So you can go back here. Or that's a hard one on the leg. What I like about this is there's just no tweak. You're not tweaking the knee at all. It's just all on the leg. So even if you're doing this, I'm not actually going here, right? Just I let a little bit shift out here, but not much. Still here pretty much. Just the foot goes out there. But I can't reach unless the foot's out there. Makes me reach. Funny thing is, it's real easy to just start doing this, right? But it's completely different if you do it here. Like there, I'm working the leg this way. I'm staying on that leg, and it works the shit out that leg. So I would say just keep going. It's kind of slow, and just work whatever you want from there. But yeah, see how you can go from here really easy from turn without ever really shifting your leg. I mean, you're pushing and pulling, shifting the leg this way, but you're not having to do this, you know. You're just, 24 seconds. Now it's back to not ringing again. That's strange. Trying to get used to this iPhone here.
Probably took up all your internet connection.
Right.
It's like I can ring, but I'm going to use all your bandwidth.
There's going to be a cost for this.
Yeah. Like, oh, you want me to ring? Okay. Just because I'm a timer.
Well, I'm just a timer to you, huh?
Yeah.
So
Should I do this side?
yeah, same thing other side. And remember, just not to really get caught up in all or the step moving to here, but just stay here with keep pushing and pulling with the leg. Right. Before you do the move, don't do a move here. And then fall on the leg. Really want to exaggerate that. That relaxing the shoulders. Yeah, it's weird having to switch in the iPhones. Everything's different.
Oh, you did? You just switched to iPhone?
Yeah. Contacts are gone. Can't do the timer.
I know, it's nice to stay with one. My stuff's all Android, so then it all switches over.
Oh, you have an Android instead?
Yeah, so it comes up from my Google account, but my mom has all iPhone, iPad. Then yeah, it keeps all your contacts.
Yeah, I've had or most of us have had a Google. Samsung Google phones for so long that having is weird.
Yeah, I can't imagine using an iPhone. Yeah, whenever I use now I'm taking care of my mom a lot. I try to use her iPhone just to like help her with something, like use an app. Like, and she'll be like, "How do I get it to blah blah blah?" I'm like, "What the hell? How do you press back? There's no back."
Yeah, everything's different.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's almost like trying to do Nordic track, but keep all your weight on one leg as you do it.
Yeah, right.
Using this one to push and pull, and this one's on the track. The track isn't exactly straight. It's pretty much a little bit of a curve. But on this side, it's pretty much straight. You're just staying in the groove there, so there's no pressure on your knee.
Yeah, I like this one. This works.
But then, as you do this, you don't really have to throw your punches. You just kind of go. Right. Just place them. But yeah, this should be good for you since you can fight on both sides.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm trying to learn during this pandemic is learn how to switch stances, within the round.
Yeah.
Because I definitely have a hard time. I still have a hard time doing that, like.
Right.
Like.
One thing I like this
transitioning.
Like if I went southpaw, I got where I could do this move sometimes. Pow, and hit him with that, but or sometimes I'd be here, hit someone with this one. But that was about the extent of my switching back and forth.
Yeah, like I have moves that I like to, particularly when I fight orthodox. Then I have some moves that I fakes that turn into southpaw, But when I fight southpaw, it's really hard for me to transition into orthodox because it's less natural,
That makes sense.
But I want to, like, it's hard for me to transition within a combination. Like I usually just throw a combination one and then switch my stance if I'm going to do that.
Right,
But
right, right.
I want to learn to do it in the combination because I'm like, that's a good thing to work on in the pandemic because you don't need a person there,
Right, right. True, true. Hold on, I think that was time.
Yeah, even in advanced kickboxing class, we've been working on stance switching because I figure it's good to.
Yeah, I find with this is the most effortless way I've seen to do it.
Yeah,
Out of
that's
all
good.
is with an angle too. An
Yeah,
angle.
that's how we usually do it. Yeah, I like that a lot. We've been doing it in kickboxing. You have to be a little careful. Like I want to ask my teacher this one because I know if you put all your weight in one leg, you could be vulnerable to like get your leg swept out or stuff like that.
Right, right.
You have to be kind of careful of how putting all your weight on one leg, but you can do things as long as you're careful. Like you wouldn't do it against somebody whose move was the move that counters it.
Right, right, right.
But I want to ask my teacher about it. We were doing more like this kind of this kind of thing, like that. Not with drop my hand, but like where we would like slip and then draw back to the other stand as a way of retreating.
Oh, because that's where they would kick you is when you
Yeah,
take
right. Like if they're trying to kick you in the leg, say here, you can draw back, cross, and they're coming in. They hopefully fall down, and you hit them with a cross.
Oh, use it against a kick.
Yeah. Well, and also, usually you usually counter with a punch after you switch stance in kickboxing. You could throw a kick, but a lot of time it's hard to. Like, so we were doing like slip and then draw back, cross. So you're
Yeah.
like that's the main way I've been taught it in kickboxing is to do it off of some kind of pivot. I mean, off of like this, like off the front foot. You could do it off that front foot pivot you do, and then pivot all the way back, and then
From a kick.
Well, you wouldn't you might do it because they were kicking you.
Right. I hear you.
Your leg, you could do it, and then they're coming. Then their faces there because they fell because they didn't think you were going to do that.
Right.
But really, it's just you could do it in boxing too. But I don't know if you would. But that's like it's sort of like slipping and then draw back. So I think it works off this. Can you see my legs? I know it's the black.
Yeah.
Off this, and then you could draw it all the way back.
And it's a lot. It's if when you work this and get more comfortable with it, it doesn't take very long. It's just weird trying to do just this. When there's all this other stuff that kind of instinctively you want to do, of course.
Yeah.
But it's just like doing the push and pull. Yeah. And you can turn it into whatever,
Yeah.
But once you've done it, really having the base here, at first it's a little sluggish, push, pull, push, but eventually it becomes more, that pull, like you can go back or forward type of thing. You get a lot more coordinated, and you're able to do it. The nice thing is this. It really works with just your natural steps that you've done billions of times already. So when you get this
for kickboxing, when you're in when it would work is when you're in close.
Yeah.
When you're far from someone, you have to be kind of careful where you're putting your like if you got kicked. Imagine if you got kicked right here with the stomach, like you're in trouble. So I think that's what I was trying to think. Like where I would use it. Like if you're going, if I'm like this and you throw a kick at my stomach right here, I'm like I had all my weight in this one leg and I have nothing to catch with here. But if I'm in close, then you can't push kick me. So I think that's.
I hear you, but I'll also keep this in mind too. Though is that push pull thing?
Yeah.
It can be used for lots of things. For like when you pull this, it's the same move as this.
Yeah.
Naturally.
No, totally. I just mean I wouldn't switch stances with it. I don't think out there.
When you do this, it's the same as, or no, it's not actually. I would do this too. This way, or the other way would be this way.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is also a shortcut to these.
Yeah.
Right. To these, I'm not good at that style, but I'm just saying it works for. It doesn't just work for this stuff here. It doesn't just work for punches. It works for positions this way, or these, but also just for. So my point is you don't when I'm talking about this thing here, this exercise, we're staying on this leg. Yeah, you never really want to be double weighted in the fact that you're like stuck on one leg, right?
Yeah.
But you want to be, you can be on one leg, but you have mobility, so you're not really double weighted. You have mobility, even though your weight's here.
Okay.
Or you can be on one side. What you want to do is get somebody on one leg where they're not here, but they're double weighted, like they got your shoulders and hips are all stuck on one side.
Yeah.
Right? And then
Yeah.
that's bad because you can knock them over. There's just a lot of, you can take them down really easy, all that type of stuff.
No, that's what I was worried about.
Which we're still here and still have your strength, but you're mobile. You know what I'm saying? But you're not yet. I know what you're saying. You don't want to be here, like on one side, stuck, or stuck on one. Yes, you don't want to be stuck when you're against somebody pick you or take you down. Or for boxing, it's kind of the same thing. But I mean, it can be adapted to that. I would really just suggest a lot of this, though. I know it's funny, and just do it on the. Actually, just do it when you're sitting at a coffee table, and just push and pull with your hands, and just go ahead and just keep doing it like watching TV or something. Just try that, and then when it gets that into your brain, and you can do it like real subtle here where nobody even sees it. You can be reading a book at a grocery store and doing the push and pull thing, and you can actually get where it's real strenuous, but real subtle so nobody sees it. Or you can do it bigger or whatever. There's lots of ways, but then it really starts like this type of exercise. You can really use it when you're, like I said, this stuff. You can if you really get good at that, then you can switch legs with it. You can. It doesn't matter where you're at. You're bound. You're just doing this push and pull thing, and that's what I noticed is when I was just doing this push and pull thing, it didn't really matter where my feet ended up. So I was never really like, oh, I'm gonna. What messes me up was when I go, let me try southpaw.
Yeah, right.
Actually, let me go back.
Yeah.
It I don't know. It just doesn't compute the same way. But if you're just pushing and pulling with the feet, it doesn't really matter where you're.
Yeah, right.
Right. Because then it helps you keep your. But what you do have to make sure is to be on one foot or the other. When you do this, when you're doing this stuff. Or I don't know. I mean, to be on one foot or the other at the right time. Exactly when you want to step and when you just want to keep. But yeah, so just try it slow. It's a lot of work on the legs. But just try, like you do that and then you just do it during the whole time you're pushing and pulling with the feet. Right? And then the angles are kind of after the fact. I know what you mean by like if you're trying to do that, do an angle, it's not good at the knee. It's kind of like trying to take an angle when someone pushes you.
Yeah.
And say, I'm going to put my foot at this degree right here. It's never going to work.
No.
Because you can't really deal with a live person in like a mechanical way. It's just more like they hit you. If you don't fall over and you're able to turn, the foot lands in place. Wherever the foot lands, that's where the foot's going to land. That's where it's supposed to go. Right? If you're on balance enough, the foot will go where it needs to go. You work from there. Right? You can never really you don't exactly try to do two things at once like that. It's to just keep the push and pull. Then if there's a little angle, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. But really work on that push and pull. It's kind of, I know it's an abstract term. It's kind of abstract in a sense, but it really works. It works the hell out of your legs when you just go slow like that. But it happens, you start just notice when you go slow and you're doing that, you start noticing just different parts that weren't pushing or pulling or working before, just little parts, and then it just kind of wakes things up. It's nice. Yeah. So just try around it, or I guess just go for a minute or two. So just push, pull, whatever stance doesn't matter, but just push and pull with the feet. Remember, as you're pushing and pulling, it's like you're hanging from a string, so you're pulling here, the hips, and as it pulls the hips, that's everything can just move off of that. Everything just rolls off of that. And see, that's the thing, if I'm on this foot, it can do all of this, but the second I move to the other foot, you still have all of it, right? Just off of this foot. But then when you switch them, you can do a lot of other stuff. Yeah, I don't even worry about doing this, actually. Just let the upper body catch up. This is definitely the secret weapon for switching from right to left. No doubt, no doubt. Oh, by the way, I'll catch you next Friday.
Yes. Yeah, thanks. Have a good week.
You too. Remember one thing. You know, it's all the back muscles. So you're always getting out your way as you're doing this. Right? So you're constantly pulling with these muscles. It's not obvious when you're doing this. It's just you feel the energy in your back. Like right around the spine, you're pulling all the muscles back around that way. Figured eventually everybody's going to train like that because a lot more people are doing that.
Yeah.
As time goes on.
I find it really hard to fight people when they switch stance.
Right. That's what I was saying. You can't really do it when when I think of it like that.
Yeah.
It's just like it either happens or it don't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because if you look for it, it just just seems like it's never a good thing when you're looking for it. The switch.
Yeah.
You see it's just like wherever you find yourself at an angle and you're still on balance is basically what it is. It really helps me to drop my center of gravity though.